Hi, John Gillespie here, and I wanted to share a little tip with you that a lot of people probably take for granted, but I'm sure that not everybody has seen this. Now, in many cases, technicians think of me for the high-tech stuff. We talk about oscilloscopes and pressure transducers and all of those kinds of toys all the time. But after fixing cars for more than 40 years, I've also got a pretty good background in the mechanical side. I had to pull the oil filter off of a 1958 Lincoln that I'm getting ready to do some pretty major work to. I'm going to be changing oil on it, but I need to roll the engine sideways so that I can drill out broken exhaust studs. And I just wanted to make sure there's no fluids in there, there's nothing in the way that's going to get damaged, so they're going to take the filter off. And the filter was seized. There are all kinds of stories that you'll hear where somebody's jammed a screwdriver through and they ripped the case of the filter apart after they've tried to crush it, trying to get it loose. And I just cringe when I hear those, because with a little bit of patience, a little bit of thought, you put the first filter wrench on there, you start to pull, and it's not coming loose. It's time to step back and get a better plan. Don't just try to force it and end up in a problem. And the better plan is try to put a second tool on, or get a second person and put a third tool on, or even a fourth tool in some cases, if you've got the clearance. Obviously, there's going to be exceptions where this isn't going to work. But compared to what it would take to be chiseling the filter face off, this is going to work for you much easier. So this is a pretty straightforward little video. I'm just going to be removing an oil filter, but it's going to take two people to get it off. And then I'll show you what it actually was that I had to overcome. Okay, so I think you can see the filter pretty well. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. So there's the filter, and I'll come back out. It's been on there a long time. This car's been sitting for almost 20 years. Now I'm just going to use one tool first and just show you. I'm going to put a reasonable amount of effort on this thing, but it's very tight. And this is what you got to get used to. So I put the filter wrench on. It's not moving. That's a judgment call. You're not always going to know how much torque something like that can tolerate. But I got an option. So I can put a tool on back here. I can put a tool on here. Spread the torque out, make sure that they're in different locations, and now try again and see if I can get it to go. And it didn't budge. This filter is really on there, so it's going to take a second person.
I had to leverage my arm on the thing. I see it might move.
But yeah, what I was doing earlier is I had this tool through here. It'll go up high. We'll put the one tool on the back, and I'll have you work these two, and then I'll go on the bottom with the extension, with the socket, and then between the three of them, we should get right loose without destroying it.
I think it'd probably do better if I
Well, you're going to want to be where I'm at. Go up higher.
if I have better leverage up there or not.
Well, you're not going to need leverage. I'm going to go below you with a third tool. See what I've done here? Okay, so you get the second tool, then I'm going to get the third one on there. And the only thing we got to do is stay out of the way of the camera.
I can't pull both these at once.
Well, just don't line them up. Do whatever you can do, but don't line up the two.
See if I can get like this, maybe I can get one.
Once I'm on here, I might be able to do the one, but okay, you got any pressure at all? Ready? That's all I wanted to be able to do. It would have crushed with one tool. It was close. And it's just get people to see that if you just take your time, get a second pair of hands, multiple tools. All right, I just wanted to show you what we actually had on this filter. You kind of get an idea how long it's been on the car just by looking at the condition, but look at the seal. You can see that it is completely dry, and you can see there's some corrosion that has actually migrated into the surface. That was actually just a little bit of oil that poured across as I was draining it. Completely dry. This seal is as hard as a rock. And if you didn't plan to get this off as I've demonstrated, you would have crushed that housing, and then from there it would have been even worse trying to get that filter off. So just by a little bit of pre-planning and recognizing when there is a problem, we got it off of there, and it's almost a non-event at this point.